Friday, December 20th, and this is now on HNN.
The kupuna trial gets underway on the Big Island. We'll have an update.
Start to de-escalate and return access to Mauna Kea access road.
5 months after the standoff with TMT protesters began, the state pulls law enforcement from the mountain.
Lawmakers aren't budging on their stance for a pending Senate trial. I'm Skylar Henry on Capitol Hill with the potential holdup and what's next in the impeachment process.
I think is just way out of bounds here.
We're tracking the potential for severe weather. Advisories are in effect ahead of powerful winds with 60-mile-per-hour gusts.
These stories and more coming up on This Is Now.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us for this Friday edition of This Is Now. I'm Jonathan, your director-producer here alongside Lacey.
Aloha.
Hey, we got so many developments to get to regarding the Big Island.
Yes, we do. Now, trial begins for the 38 kupuna who were arrested on July 17th for blocking the access road. Most of them rejected a plea deal.
Yes, and Mahealani Richardson is on the Big Island. She literally just filed this report minutes ago. She has an update on that and along with everything that happened yesterday. Let's check out what she had to say.
Hawaii County told activists here at the camp to evacuate by 6 p.m. tonight because of high winds with possible gusts up to 60 miles per hour. But leaders of the camp say for the most part they're hunkering down, though some are going to be staying at a state park nearby. Now they say they're hunkering down, their tents are still here, the bamboo barricades are still here. But what's different today is that Mauna Kea access road is opened after the governor made the decision yesterday to remove law enforcement. Way back there is the cattle guard where DoCare and state officers had been stationed, but you can see they're now gone. Also later today will be the start of trials for the 38 mostly kupuna who were arrested at that cattle guard and here at the tent earlier this summer. We'll have the latest on Hawaii News Now tonight. I'm Mahealani Richardson.
Oh, thanks, Maheo, for that report. Look forward to those updates tonight. But let's keep talking about this.
Yes, TMT leaders say Mauna Kea is still their preferred site. But as we mentioned, the governor is ordering all law enforcement to come home from the blockade. Now, the question is, will the demonstrators leave? Governor Ige offered no timeline for how long law enforcement would be gone from Mauna Kea, but said they'd be back when TMT decides to move forward with construction. He said $15 million in costs and the winter weather were part of his decision to pull out.
We thought that it would be prudent to remove state personnel and start to de-escalate and return access to Mauna Kea access road.
According to an internal memo obtained by Hawaii News Now, the governor expressed his disappointment that TMT will not move forward for now. But the telescope says it's not pulling out and had concerns that the state could provide safe access for everyone.
A lot of folks have had expectations that the state and Hawaii County would provide access for everyone.
TMT opponents met with DoCare's Big Island chief. They say the state told them they have until December 26th to start removing their structures at Mauna Kea. They haven't made a decision on what they'll ultimately do, but said this.
As long as TMT is gonna come back at some point in time, then nothing we do changes. Our commitment is to protecting Mauna Kea.
Mayor Harry Kim says county police will leave Mauna Kea by 3:30 p.m. Friday. He says the governor told him it's the county's responsibility to enforce that the unauthorized structures are removed, but had no answers about more possible arrests, a sweep, or a timeline.
I'm trying to answer all of your questions honestly I can. The barricades that they have established needs to be removed if there's no purpose to have them there.
TMT's permit says it has until September 2021 to start construction. We dive into the calling for activists, business, and government, our mini documentary that's available now on our digital platforms.
Yeah, I checked that out. It really goes in depth of how we've gotten to the point we are. You know, that was Mahea and our photographer, producer, digital producer, Davis Pittner, that put it together. It aired digitally yesterday. Check it out if you got a chance. Really good stuff there. All right, and again, you can find that on any of our HNN digital platforms. It's on our Facebook page, homepage, anywhere you can find HNN online, you can find that. We're going to go outside, looking a little gloomy out there, right? On this Aloha Friday, and it's actually looking we're looking there in town. here, but over on the Garden Isle, it's even worse. They've actually had to close Honolulu Elementary due to some severe weather. They just closed it about 30 minutes ago.
Yikes.
Nothing dramatically has happened there yet, from what we understand, but
Precaution.
they are precaution because of the river there and everything. There's also a number of advisories up, so we want to get a check of that with Billy V. Here he is.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the ocean alerts that we do have, and we have a couple of them for you. First of all, we have small craft advisory that's in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. High surf advisory in effect for all of those areas shaded in purple that you see here. That's also until 6 o'clock tonight. That's, of course, because of the winds. Trade wind swell here, 8 to 12. That's up because the winds are going to be up. 6 to 10 on the North Shore. That is on the way down. Let's go ahead and check right now as we look at your 7-day forecast. Just know that today would probably not be a good day for kite flying. Otherwise, it might take you to another island. Now, those winds are going to be 10 to 35 miles per hour with gusts up to 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour tomorrow. And once again, it's going to be going from windy conditions to rainy conditions Sunday, Monday, possible spotty thunder showers. And then it gets a little bit better as the winds lighten up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
All right, thank you, Billy, for that update. You know, we'll have to watch those winds for sure this weekend. We're going to take a live look. We're looking at, from the digital center here, we can look at a number of satellite feeds and pull them up. So we're taking a glance at Washington right now. There's the Capitol Dome with a beautiful sunset behind it. That tranquil scene is nothing like the fireworks that have been going on this week, though, right?
No. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says Democrats and Republicans are at an impasse over how an impeachment trial should run in the Senate. Skylar Henry has details from Capitol Hill.
A stalemate is brewing over what an impeachment trial in the Senate would look like. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer had his first meeting yesterday with Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to discuss the trial.
I told Leader McConnell that we would not support any trial without witnesses and documents.
Democrats want to hear from key witnesses, such as acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney and former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who did not testify before the House.
Calling the Chief of Staff the National Security Advisor, I think, is just way out of bounds here.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she's going to hold off on sending the articles of impeachment to the Senate until parameters for a Senate trial are laid out.
When we see the process that is set forth in the Senate, then we'll know the number of managers that we may have to go forward.
House Democrats may be too afraid to even transmit their shoddy work product to the Senate.
First daughter and senior advisor to the president, Ivanka Trump, tells Face the Nation this process has focused the president and his base.
He's energized, as are 63 million plus voters who elected him to office.
But evangelical Christians who overwhelmingly support the president are waking up to an editorial in Christianity Today magazine calling for the president's removal from office, saying none of the president's positives can balance the moral and political danger we face under a leader of such grossly immoral character. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
All right, we got some royal news.
Yes.
Update on Prince Phillip, right?
Yes, 98-year-old Prince Phillip has been admitted to the hospital over a pre-existing condition. That's according to Buckingham Palace, who issued a statement today. A royal source told CNN he was not taken there in an ambulance, but walked in. The admission is a precautionary measure on the advice of His Royal Highness's doctor. Queen Elizabeth II returned to Norfolk on Friday as scheduled. She's expected to spend Christmas there. It's unclear how long her husband will be in the hospital.
All right, this next story, I mean, it is actually a big international story. Our friends down under, our journalist friends down under, has actually been blowing up our newsroom on emails and on Facebook saying, like, hey, have you seen the Prime Minister there?
Yeah.
Because there's a big reaction there because of what's happening with the wildfires.
Yes.
And he's taking criticism because he actually took a vacation here.
Right, and in fact, he cut that vacation short after receiving heavy criticism for being away from New South Wales, dealing with those raging fires that have killed 2 firefighters. Prime Minister Scott Morrison's office originally denied that he was in Hawaii, but on Thursday, he confirmed in a radio interview that he was indeed in the islands. After the firefighters' deaths were announced, Morrison issued a statement that said he would return to Australia as soon as possible. Quote, I deeply regret any offense caused to any of the many Australians affected by the terrible brush fires by my taking leave with family at this time, he said in a statement. A state of emergency has been declared in New South Wales as firefighters struggle to contain the roughly 100 wildfires still active in that region. Crazy to think how many.
Yeah, like some of the journalists were saying to us when they were writing those emails, it's just our country is on fire.
Literally.
And we had this story, this update posted on our HNN digital platforms as well. You can see a screenshot of the app that I took right there. You can see the Prime Minister Morrison. Read up on it if you want to read more about it. Again, HNN digital platforms. More space news. I love this stuff. But
Boeing launched their new passenger spaceship. It's called the Starliner this morning. But things didn't go as planned during the vessel's first critical test mission. Now mission controllers in Houston have a problem. CBS News correspondent Mark Strassman, who watched the launch at Kennedy Space Center in Florida, has the latest.
Liftoff. Engine at full thrust.
It was a flawless launch.
We've cleared the tower.
Boeing Starliner spaceship blasted off aboard an Atlas V rocket this morning. The capsule was supposed to rendezvous with the International Space Station, a critical dress rehearsal ahead of next year's inaugural launch with astronauts. But that is not going to happen.
So we did have, obviously, some challenges today.
NASA and Boeing say the Starliner went off course 31 minutes after launch.
The spacecraft separated from the launch vehicle. We did not get the orbital insertion burn that we were hoping for.
The Atlas rocket worked flawlessly, but a timing glitch inside the Starliner's control system caused it to waste fuel and miss a critical rocket firing needed to reach the space station.
Teams here on the ground are evaluating their various options, looking at what the best next steps for Starliner might be.
This morning's test flight was supposed to be Boeing's final milestone before it began flying astronauts sometime next year. NASA's investigating the cause, but it's a definite setback for Boeing as it competes with SpaceX to launch American astronauts into space for the first time since 2011.
It's disappointing for us, but that doesn't mean we're not going to diagnose it, figure out what the right thing to do to go forward, whether it's what kind of next flight test we fly, and keep going.
NASA insists had astronauts been aboard the Starliner's aborted mission, they would be safe. Mark Strassman, CBS News, at the Kennedy Space Center.
I want to go.
That looks so cool.
Yeah, would you do space travel?
I totally would.
Would you jump on board? I mean, I want to see some more test runs. Obviously, things aren't going smoothly, but try again, folks.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the best. Next story is super cool.
I love this.
Yeah, you guys, listen up. Watch this.
The Kaneshiro Farms on Kauai was once one of the biggest hog farms and pork producers in the state, but that legacy is unfortunately coming to an end. The farm will close next year. Jim Mendoza went to the Garden Island to find out why.
Let's find the pen to move him up into.
Kauai farmers Valerie and Derwin Kaneshiro raise hogs and produce pork. It's strenuous work.
Pigs are hard. Pigs are rough. You have to be strong.
The Kaneshiro family's history of pig farming on the Garden Isle stretches back to 1920 and Derwin's grandfather, who peddled pork to supplement his income.
The Kaneshiros have had the hog farm in their family for 4 generations. They have perfected the practice of preparing pigs for market.
Let me clean your eyes.
Their animals are so healthy, the farm has supplied breeding stock for other pig farms.
Our slogan was, keep the culture alive. And we'd have whole families come just to choose the pig. And they take it live and cook it themselves.
But early next year, the farm will end operations. The couple is retiring, and Valerie is sick.
I want them to know that I do have stage 4 pancreatic cancer, because I would not voluntarily close the farm ever.
Kaneshiro Farms once had 1,800 hogs in its herd, but that number has gone way down.
We are reducing the herd. People are looking for our breeding stock.
And pork producers are contacting Valerie to learn her farming methods that won state and national awards.
I think I've always had that in me, that desire to teach.
Valerie is undergoing chemotherapy and is optimistic about her cancer battle.
I'm hoping for a miracle.
The Kaneshiros will continue providing pork for Kauai fundraisers and family luau's until the last of their pigs go to market early next year, which marks the farm's 100th anniversary.
Okie dokie.
Jim Mendoza, Hawaii News Now.
end of an era there. You know, it's really sad to see them going away, but you can see her spirits are just so positive.
And that is
inspiring.
Not an easy job to do, let me tell you.
And you have experience.
My family raises pigs, and it's a lot of work, countless hours, and, you know, my hearts and prayers go out to her, and, you know, we wish her the best.
Yeah, we wish her the best, but thanks for inspiring us. So thank you. All right, we're moving on to some holiday news. Big shopping weekend, right?
Yes, this year put the Super Saturday, December 21st, is expected to be the biggest shopping day of the year, even beating out Black Friday crowds. The National Retail Federation reports in a new survey that about 147.8 million people are expected to shop.
What? That's like half the country.
That's up from 134.3 million last year.
Okay.
This is also known as Panic Saturday. This shopping holiday is all about getting last-minute holiday gifts. Cheap Black Friday-like prices, they aren't super likely, but that's a gamble when shopping so close to Christmas Day. Some stores will even have extended hours. Check with stores near you to confirm those hours. I need that.
Yeah, thank goodness for gift cards and online
Oh
shopping.
my gosh, exactly. I haven't wrapped a single gift yet.
Well, I still have so much shopping to do, so you're ahead of me. So,
oh man.
Yeah, and if you are still shopping, we got some gift ideas for you. You still have time for, right?
Yep.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the most high-tech gifts, right?
Yes, just 5 days into Christmas, and this weekend will be the final rush for those holiday purchases. NBC's Liz McLaughlin has you covered.
Retro toys are making a comeback for the holidays.
Yeah, so what's old is new this year,
including the Tamagotchi digital pet.
Now, the biggest change that 90s kids like me will recognize is that the Tamagotchi On has a full color display.
Old school games are also getting a makeover. Now portable with micro arcades.
This is Tetris that you can slip into your wallet. It's about the thickness of a few credit cards.
There are also versions with Pac-Man and Atari games. Even mini skee-ball and other tiny arcade classics. And in the age of phone selfies, analog photos are trending. The new Polaroid Lab is a desktop darkroom that lets you turn smartphone photos into instant prints. Or try a digital and instant camera combo with the Polaroid Pop.
You can make those prints in the moment, but then also have digital versions to be able to take home and use for other purposes.
If Santa's bringing new electronics, round out the gift with accessories, such as a phone charger keychain and AirPods case from Native Union. Or stocking-sized smart home devices, like Amazon's TV Stick or Smart Plug.
Alexa.
Just a few ideas for the final shopping rush of the season. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
Very cool. Actually, I really like a few of those. That Polaroid printout thing is super cool.
Right there, you just take a picture.
That before. Yeah. Have you seen that?
No, I definitely want one of those.
Anything else on there you want?
I really like the Tetris game that can fit in like your wallet.
Okay, got an idea for Lacey.
I love Tetris.
Gotta find it, but I have an idea for you. You know what, guys? This is going to be. We're gonna take a little holiday hiatus for This Is Now. So we're not gonna be here next week, but the following week we're gonna be back. So please stick around with us, and I really hope you have a happy holiday.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
We'll take you outside one more time. There's a look at Washington. Of course, we'll be following all the updates there. And look for all our updates coming up on our digital platforms on HNN. Until then, we'll see you in a week, guys.